Well, Carlton Town TV, sponsored by Ericom, and we're here on Christmas Day in the boardroom, the recently refurbished boardroom, and it looks absolutely splendid at the Bill Stokoe Stadium, with the Carlton Town chairman Mick Garton and the Carlton Town director of football Tommy Brookbanks. Merry Christmas, gents.
Merry Christmas.
And a Merry Christmas to you all.
I was just going to say, Alan, we normally have the pleasure of Josh on Christmas Day, and I've been asked to come down this year for the first time, and Tommy as well. I think it's the first interview. I think it's the first interview either of us have given this season. What brings you on Christmas Day?
I'm cooking Christmas dinner today, Mick. So I had to get out of the house for half an hour and come down and see you guys. And, it's been such an enjoyable season at Stoke Lane so far this year. What better place to be once Santa's been in the morning than pop down to see you guys and then go back for Christmas lunch afterwards.
And maybe the pub in a bit as well.
Maybe possibly.
Pop and Tina will have the dinner ready, so maybe pop to the pub with her.
Well, it looks like you two gents have started already. Tommy, Mick, we're going to talk a little bit about your coming back to the club in 2019 and what we've done since then. But first of all, director of football, started in the summer after a fantastically successful career in the dugout. How's it been?
A lot of people ask me that. Even Tina asked me. It's great. I'm enjoying it. It's different. I guess first month it took some getting used to. And you're not the gaffer in the dressing room anymore. But yeah, I think I sort of slotted into it in the summer with a lot of work I did with Mick, both you guys, the media. A lot of work went on in the summer, which I got myself involved with. Then I've sort of been a backup to Andy and Mark. It's sort of reversed, whereas before it was me, Mark and Andy. Now it's Mark and Andy and then me. And I'm fine with that. I'm not having to deal with a lot of the rubbish in the week from what players give you, holidays, suspensions and all that. But I can, they ask me my opinion, I give it them. I actually think, Alan, if I'm honest with you, it's a role that's going to develop really quickly in football. I think it's the bridge between the chairman, the committee and the managers that a lot of clubs need, because I think the more football men you can have at clubs now in non-league, the better, because especially you get to my age where you understand both sides. You understand the budget, you understand the committee, the volunteers, and you understand from the manager's point of view as well. And I think it's going to become an essential part of football, as long as it's done properly, as long as it's done on all sides with respect. They pick the team, and they're doing a fantastic job. The continuity is the genius behind it all. We bought Andy in 2 years ago, specifically for one day for this position. I knew that I was going to probably step into this. So the continuity has been fantastic. And I think a club like Carlton needs continuity. You don't need new managers coming and going all the time. So, yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm good. I'm relaxed. And I'm enjoying it, mate. Thank you very much.
And what about the chairman's point of view, having effectively three people in management positions to deal with rather than one, as is normally the case, or two, as has been the case here?
Yeah, it's took a little bit of getting used to, if I'm honest with you, at the start. Like Tommy said, it's one of those things that's grown quite quickly. In terms of the communication lines are now a lot clearer than when Tommy first started doing it, because at the end of the day, it's, I've got an issue here, or I've got something to solve. Do I ring Mark? Do I ring Andy? Do I ring Tommy? And I think we're clear on that now. Most of the stuff I'll go through Tommy. Yeah. I'm not saying I don't talk to the managers anymore. Of course I do, but at the same time, and Tommy, like he said, he's had to develop as well. And the good thing is, he can see both angles of the club. I mean, I think when you were at a previous club, you had a similar role, but certainly it's probably different here to what you would have had there. And certainly in terms of the seeing it from both sides of the coin, I mean, the beauty, I suppose, is that he's done the management role. He's had a little bit of backroom experience as well, and now he's sitting somewhere in the middle. And I think that was a good starting point, getting the work done around the ground during the summer, and just giving people specific roles where you've not got people. Sometimes in the past we've had people treading on each other's toes, and I think this year there was a clear who's doing what, who's doing, and I think that's something you've tried to go forward with. Just clearer lines of communications, and then a lot of the other stuff is helped with. Certainly, the one thing you're guaranteed, if the club puts something out, he'll be the first guy to retweet it, along with the media team and that's important as well, because I know Tommy's big on getting more people down here, and I personally think the social media side and the whole media output that we're giving now with the team is probably the best it's ever been.
You're almost describing a combination of both director of football and general manager around the club.
I think that's a fair description more than. It's hard to put a title on it. Director of football 2 or 3 years ago, he's an interfering busybody. He's not going to leave the boys alone, and it's developed more from that now. And I don't suppose that the role's been defined properly yet, but we've certainly found that the role, and maybe general manager's a good one as well. And I think the key, what Mick's just said there, was everybody now knows the position at the club. You come down on match days. Kelly's got the bar, Ben's got the media, you've got the media. The boys are there selling programs. Johnny's down doing his mate, and I can go on and on and on. But everybody knows the job. There's nobody going, "Oh, I thought you were doing that. I thought you were doing that." And it's important to me that everybody got defined roles and they felt a huge part of this football club. And I think they do, and I hope they do. But yeah, general manager is probably a good enough term as well as director of football.
Now, for those who don't know, and there won't be too many of you out there, Tommy was the manager from 1996 until 2010. We then had Les for 5 years, and then we had Wayne for 4 years. So we're not a club that turns over managers at all.
No.
But in 2019, we'd had a difficult season. We'd avoided relegation only on the back of a ground grading failure by AFC Mansfield. And Wayne moved on. How did it come about, gents? I don't know if I want to start with Mick or Tommy. How did it come about that Tommy came back to the club, having been at a number of clubs with great success in the interim period?
Well, we obviously made a decision at the end of that season to make a change, and then it was a case of who do we bring in? And I got a whisper that Tommy fancied coming back. To be quite honest with you, it was a no-brainer from that perspective. Obviously, there was hurdles to overcome. Would he be in a position to work with a budget that we'd got available at that time, and a number of other issues that needed addressing? And I met with him. I think it was a Monday night somewhere up near the motorway, and we had a really, really good meeting. And I walked away from that meeting knowing that we were on the same page. And then I think it was a matter of dotting the I, crossing the T's, and then getting down to business fairly quickly, because obviously, like you say, at the end of that previous season, we'd had a really bad season. So the club needed picking up at that point again. And I suppose, at the end of the day, Tommy had got a history of being in the top end of the table, from his previous time here with the promotions and everything else. Yeah. So, like I say, it was one of them where we, unlike where the Les process, where we carried out a really constructive or long process to try and bring the right man in. On this occasion, it was more of Tommy's there, he's available, he's interested in coming back, let's get this done.
Obviously, my director of football role come to an end at Baseford. Delighted for me that 2 or 3 offers come in immediately, which sort of half surprised me, because you sort of think when you have a year away, do you become forgotten? But I hadn't. I'd spoke to the other clubs. This offer was on the table. Had a couple of whiskies on the Thursday night. Tina, my sister, was there, and they were telling me that I'd got to come back here, basically. I woke up in the morning, I thought, I want to come and make a difference back to the club that I feel is my club. So I rang Mick and says, let's do this. The next stage was Mark.
Yeah.
Spoke to Mark. Mark was talking to Long Eaton on the Saturday morning. As I drove down here, I'd already accepted this job. And I said to Mark, well, look, go and speak to Long Eaton. If it's not right for you, you can come here as joint manager. I'm fine, because we'd always been managing assistant. I says, if that helps, come as joint manager, no problem to me. We work together anyway. Yeah. I says to Mick, look, I'm coming down on my own. And as I'm driving to the ground, Mark says, where are you? I says, I'm back at the ground. He says, I'm coming. So then Mark met you as well, didn't he? So that was sort of the starting point.
So what was your impression then, Tommy? You say a lot of work to be done here. What
It looked like the last
Excellent.
lick of paint was the one I put on the previous. No offence, Mr. Chairman. And I thought, well, the first job is to get whoever we've got volunteering at the club and helping at the club. We need to spruce it up, you know. And everybody seemed tired, from Mick downwards. The club seemed tired. It seemed like it'd been through a lot, and it needed a lift.
I mean, we'd had 5 successive years of finishing in the bottom 4, bottom 6.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
It takes its toll every single season.
Does, yeah.
You're losing far more games than you win.
Yeah.
And it's nobody's fault. It just wasn't getting any better.
Yeah. And then the beauty was, I'd spoke to you, Mick, several others. I sort of got a knowledge of what team was left behind from Wayne. And my impression was, there's some good young players here. They've obviously just gone through the mill in a really tough relegation season, probably. So the first thing was, I'd spoke to you, got your ideas on them, because you'd been at every game, Mick and everybody else. And what we didn't want to do, and this is no disrespect to anybody, we didn't want to keep any senior players. Me and Mark said straight away, we want to put our own stamp on it. And so that was no disrespect to them, good players, that they could get bigger wages elsewhere.
Yeah,
we got a budget of £800. That was it. And the first priority was to speak to the players. Jack Steggles was crucial. We wanted to keep Jack in goal. There was Ollie Robinson, good right back.
Yeah.
There was Toby Moore, good centre back. I'm just topping the head. Ollie Clark was here.
Ollie Clark, Niall
Davey, Tyler Blake, Aaron Opoku.
Aaron.
And then we looked at these young players and we spoke to them, met every one of them, and they all said the same. They felt like they'd been under pressure, which you are when you're down there.
Yeah.
And then we looked at, right, we need senior players. The controversial one was Martin Ball. I think you put a statement out, Mick, you know, on Twitter. Is this going to work or not? Is this a Brookbanks masterclass or is it a disaster? Which Martin, that's charming. Then coming back to the club, it was something like that, what was put. I always saw Martin in my first time around as a top midfielder, but who would end up at centre-back.
Yeah.
And we needed to get the spine right. We got the keeper. We needed a top centre-back to go alongside young Toba. Then Fletch, who I'd worked with before.
Yeah.
Dan Fletcher. So it was sort of, and then Tom Madison as a captain. That was sort of the spine.
Yeah.
Tyler Blake and Opoku were going to do the job up front when they were fit. So once we got the spine right, I always said to the lads, we got them in training, says, right, all we're going to ask you this season is play your football, enjoy your football, and you won't hear anything from me or Mark unless you don't work hard in the opposition. If you don't work hard in the opposition, then I'll go back to my old ways and rip the dressing room apart. I said, so if you don't want the old ways, just work hard in the opposition, and if you come off and we've lost a game and we've worked harder, then nobody will have a go at you. Relax and play your football. And it sort of worked, didn't it?
And Mick, when you saw how the team performed, we opened that season with a 2-0 win at Lincoln United. But from your point of view, Mick, obviously running the club and wanting to encourage more people to come back down to the club, what did you think when you saw the early performances?
I think the positivity was the first thing that struck me. Like you say, in that last season, when you get in a downward spiral, it's very, very difficult to get out of it. And you've seen good players, good teams in all walks of football that have suddenly struggled. At the end of the day, I did believe there'd be a change. I mean, at the end of the day, but probably it came quicker than I could have imagined it would. So, yeah, all very positive and a great start, and a great building block sort of thing.
So, Tommy, we've had 6 seasons now, all pretty successful. With that one tough season in the East at the start, but even then, the last 10 games are superb. We've covered that before. Talk a little bit about the way the club's developed off the field in the last 6 years, 7 years. I mean, is there any sense in which the club is recognisable from even what you came back to in 2019?
I was speaking to Tina the other night, and she says, "Are you adapting to not managing?" I says, "I'm enjoying it." And I sort of pinched myself, because if you'd have said to me 6.5 years ago, this club would be getting close to 300 fans, we'd have this huge army of volunteers, fantastic volunteers, staff, kids coming to watch us now, families coming to watch us. The overall feel of the club, I would have said, no chance. I think we'll make a difference, but I would never have thought that we'd have gone this far down the path in 6.5 years to being, I think, the best club to visit in Nottingham on match days. We've got the best media team in you guys, Ben and everybody else, you know, and your Boatses, Barry's. I don't like to keep naming them because I don't want to forget anybody. Kelly now, you know, it's just everybody is clearly as one.
Yeah,
this isn't about the lads being top of the league at the minute, which is fantastic. There's no pressure on them to be top of the league, by the way. We just want to do well. This is about the club, the whole of this being top of the league at the minute, and the whole of this doing really well. And you can see it's only going to get better, you know, because we're going to keep pushing it, and the volunteers are going to keep pushing it. I hope they feel as welcome as we really want them to be at this club, because I know a lot of clubs that pay, you know, these people to do these roles, and that's fine. We can't do that. So we really appreciate them more than ever. And I hope that they're enjoying it as much as us.
I mean, to be honest, I think that you get more out of it if you know you're giving up your own time for free.
Absolutely.
I know that's music to the chairman's ears, but you really do.
Absolutely.
And Mick, from the chairman's point of view, I mean, this is almost dreamland. We've been here a long time. Tommy's been here a long time, of course, as well, where the average gate was nowhere near 100. You know, it was 80, 82, 85. We're now disappointed if the crowd's below 200 on a match day.
I think apart from the fact that the team's doing so well on the pitch, that's the most satisfying statistic for me over the last few years. The growth, it's come over a period of time. It's not all been done overnight. I mean, it was
very organic, isn't it?
It's grown. You had a situation. I think we had a slight dip when we went in the first season in the East League. But if you look at it over the period, like I say, I think it was you in a comment said to me that in the season where Tommy and Mark came back, we had a number of attendances below 100.
Yeah.
And we're almost in a position now where, like you say, that we're disappointed if we get less than 200, and we've had a attendance of 400 this season. So that is down to a lot of hard work put in, and as Tommy mentioned, the media team, and credit to Niall Davey, because one of the first things he said when he took over as skipper, we need to get out there and get more people down here, and it was from that meeting really where we made a start. I think you were at the meeting, Tom. Yeah. When we sat with Niall, and then it was the whole that from there, the media side's grown, the number of volunteers have grown, the number of season ticket holders have grown, and the fact is, it's not just people coming to the games. I went to a club the other week, and it was an away game, and the final whistle went, everybody had gone, and I just thought, wow, our bar now is buzzing before the game, it's buzzing after the game. And there's a real feel, a real atmosphere around the place, and you can't invent that. That has to happen naturally, and that to me is as important as anything, because you've got that feel good factor. And like I say, there's so many things. We could sit here all Christmas Day and talk about all the different things that's gone on. And like Tom said, I'm the same. I hate to mention volunteers, but. Unbelievably, Christmas Day, I've just seen Adam walk past the window. So even Adam's come down on Christmas Day to work on the pitch. Yeah. So it just shows you the commitment that we've got.
And no doubt, I know you don't want to mention names, or we're going to forget names, but on the media side, Ben, of course, but also Joe standing next to the it's absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely.
And the Mini Millers and all
they're fantastic, mate. And just as well, I've got to credit the management and players.
Of course.
Target this year, I would have said, was playoffs. Having done so well in the East, we had to bring a striker, 25 goal a season man in. We did that. Ewan's been a good signing, but what the managers, the genius behind it all is what I said earlier, continuity. They've not tried to fix anything. They had a good squad. They worked with this squad, trained them, and we are ahead of the game at the minute. To be top at Christmas is ahead of the game, credit to the players and management as well as everybody else here. You know that everybody's pulling in the same direction, which is fantastic.
Well, I think, Tommy, that's a fantastic note to finish on.
Yeah.
We're all going to get home, have our mince pies and our Christmas lunch.
Absolutely.
Now.
Yeah.
And
Irish coffee,
lovely Irish coffee, little snifter in there, Mick. Yeah. So,
Merry Christmas, one and all. Yeah. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.